Ever have one of those days where you think you've seen the worst humanity can throw at you? Then the universe says, hang on, I'm not done yet. Yeah, that's how this story starts. And if you're the kind of person who thinks HOA drama is just a bunch of bored people with nothing better to do, well, buckle up. This isn't an argument over mailbox colors. This is the kind of story where a flare gun means the difference between dying in a ditch and seeing the sun come up again. I guess the best way to begin is to say, I never minded being alone. Some folks need the noise, the constant swirl of people and events and opinions, but not me. I've always been happy with a little silence, a cold beer, and a stretch of land I could call my own. 7 years back, I bought this old ranch tucked away in the foothills of Colorado. 28 acres, most of it rocks and stubborn grass, but every inch was peace and quiet. I'm Garrett. I'm 46 now. Used to work construction, but my hands got tired of building things for other people. I wanted something that was mine. The house out here, she had good bones. Chimney made from real stone, big beams, wraparound porch. I remember the first morning I sat there, coffee in hand, and just listened to the wind for an hour. No cars, no neighbors, not even a distant lawnmower. Heaven, right? That's what I thought too. The first 5 years were everything I hoped for. My world was small and perfect, a couple of rescue horses, some chickens, a generator that coughed but never quit, and a gravel road snaking down to the county highway. That strip of road, nothing fancy, just dirt and rock, was my lifeline. It passed through a skinny piece of county land before hitting the blacktop. Public legal, no questions. Then came Silver Hills Reserve. 2 years ago, everything started to change. It was like the world decided it needed another little slice of fake paradise, so developers rolled in with shiny trucks and bulldozers, carving a modern, rustic community out of the hills behind me. And of course, they brought an HOA. You know, the sort of club where people pay money just to be told what color their flower pots can be. I woke up one day, and there it was, a brand new gate at the edge of the county road. Chrome so shiny it burned my retinas. I called the county, got the usual runaround. Yes, sir, the gate's legal, but no, they can't close off your access. I hung up knowing damn well that was just the first shot across the bow. That's when Karen showed up. Picture someone who's never been outside in trail shoes so white they squeak and a windbreaker worth more than my pickup. Clipboard, too. She marched up one afternoon while I was fixing a fence dirt on my hands hammer in my belt. Hi, I'm Karen, president of the Silver Hills Homeowners Association. She said it like she was introducing royalty. I wiped my hands, shook hers anyway. Oh, you're the one with the old ranch house, she said. Everyone says it has character. I shrugged. Yeah, that's one word for it. At first, she seemed harmless. Curious about things like drainage, retaining walls, stuff that made me laugh. I figured she just needed someone to talk to about real work, not picking curtains. I didn't mind, really. One day she handed me a box, a signal flare pistol polished like a museum piece, just in case you get lost hiking, she said. I actually laughed. I've lived off compass and luck for most of my life, I told her. She smiled like she'd just solved a puzzle no one else could see. I didn't think much of it. But looking back, maybe I should have. The next few months, her visits got longer. Questions changed. She started talking about shared land opportunities, community benefit, and my favorite, how your acreage could really help the neighborhood come together. I dodged her offers politely. Then she asked if I'd ever sell the eastern slope, the side touching Silver Hills. Would help us finish the community trail, she said. That's when I drew the line. That's when, not for sale, I told her. Not an acre, not a foot, not ever. She left with a tight little smile, and after that, everything started to shift. HOA newsletters started appearing in my mailbox, uninvited. Someone left a pamphlet, How to Be a Good Neighbor. Then a landscaping crew accidentally cut down some trees on my side of the boundary. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I bought trail cams. 4, in fact, plus an old one I put up on the water tower. Still, I tried to keep my head down. Then came the legal letter, HOA counsel no less. Said I had to cease all unauthorized construction on shared lands. They meant my new shed, which was nowhere near their property line. I called my lawyer, Michelle, had her write a reply, then filed a complaint with the county. It went to court. The judge didn't need long. The HOA had no say over my land, the road, or anything I did. They were barred from interfering, and Karen was named directly in the injunction. They even owed me damages, which I let sit on the shelf just to remind them I wasn't in this for the money. For a while, it got quiet. Too quiet. I know that sounds dramatic, but if you've ever faced someone who hates losing, you know what I mean. Karen and her crew didn't hear, no, they heard, not yet. And soon enough, the cracks started showing. County inspectors started turning up. First a guy about my septic system, then fire safety, then water board, then zoning. All anonymous tips. Each left empty-handed, but I kept every card, every note, every name. The HOA kept poking the bear. A laminated newsletter showed up on my gate. Dangerous neighbors' legal gray zones. Not even trying to hide it anymore. My lawyer looked at it and said, "They're baiting you." I shrugged. "They'll block your road next," she said. And that's exactly what they tried. About a week later, I spotted two men in vests setting up a surveying station on my access road. Routine assessment for infrastructure updates, they said. For who, I asked. Silver Hills HOA. Wrong answer. This is county land, I told them. Project's dead. I filed a complaint again. County said no permits had been issued. But the cones stayed for days. I checked my camera feeds. There she was, Karen herself. Middle of the night, flashlight and measuring tape in hand, acting like she owned the whole mountain. Dragging her hand along my road, marking something, taking pictures. Michelle and I filed for a court order emergency clarification. Judge doubled down, HOA stays off the road. No signage, no contractors, no presence period. Next day, a letter arrived, hand-delivered by an intern who looked like he wanted to quit. It was a masterpiece of lawyer speak. We recommend voluntary reassessment of your property's role in our evolving community framework. I nearly spit my coffee out. Michelle just snorted. Translation. We hate you but don't want another lawsuit. Things escalated. My cameras caught people trying to disable the sensors on my gate, a white SUV idling in the trees late at night. I started keeping that signal pistol under my truck seat. Then as suddenly as it started, it all stopped. No more cones, no more drive-bys, nothing. Just silence. You ever have a feeling that silence isn't peace but a warning? That's what I had. Then one night the road literally gave out under me. It wasn't even dramatic, just a low ripping sound, and then I was falling. My truck, my trailer, me. Then the crash. Metal screamed, glass exploded, my ribs slammed into the wheel. Everything tilted. The world stilled and I realized I was stuck. Legs pinned, shoulder jammed against the door, couldn't reach my phone, couldn't do much except breathe and hope. And it was cold. Real cold. 40 degrees and dropping, and me with my jacket behind the seat heater, dead night coming fast. You ever try to stay calm while every part of your body screams at you to panic? I flipped through every option in my head, and none were good. Michelle wasn't expecting me home till Sunday. It was Saturday night. That's when I remembered the flare gun, the one Karen had given me almost as a joke. I fished it out of the glove box, loaded a flare, and fired straight out the shattered window. The pop echoed, smoke curling up into the dark. Waited. Nothing. Second flare. Nothing. Third. By now my teeth were chattering, fingers numb. Each flare was a little more desperate. Fourth one, I aimed toward the trees, prayed someone was camping. Fifth, my hands barely worked, but I got it loaded and fired. And then nothing, until there wasn't. Headlights, sirens, voices shouting my name. Someone smashed through the window, chains rattled, a crane groaned, and then they were hauling me out of hell. I blacked out as soon as the cold air hit me. I woke up in the hospital body, wrapped in bandages, ribs tight, both legs in casts. Michelle walked in. "You were right to set those cameras," she said. "We saw what they did." She had pulled the footage off every trail cam. Not just the usual ones, the backups too. One had even been yanked clean off its tree. But the footage was enough. It showed everything: a crew in unmarked pickups digging a trench across the road, covering it with boards and a tarp marking it temporary maintenance, HOA use only, and Karen right in the middle pointing exactly where my truck would go under. No permits, no warnings, not even a damn cone. Worse. The night before, Karen herself, came back and removed the sign. No way for me to see it. Text came out too. Karen to her crew, "Leave the pit open through the weekend. No reflectors. He's got it coming." You could practically hear the arrogance dripping off the page. DA moved fast. Investigators called it what it was: felony endangerment. One of the crew, Anthony, flipped right away. Walked into the sheriff's office with a box of receipts. Karen had paid him in cash, told him it was community land, told him not to worry about permits. Everything fell apart for her. The DA held a press conference. The story blew up Denver stations first, then everywhere. HOA president digs trap for local rancher. My busted truck, the pit, the flare gun, all over the news. Silver Hills tried to save face, said Karen acted outside her role. They even sent me a fruit basket. I sent it back with a note. Stick it in the hole. The civil case moved fast too. Court froze all HOA funds, started asset seizures. Karen's home, partially bought with community money, now up for grabs. The day of the criminal trial, I rolled in on a wheelchair, legs still stiff but eyes wide open. Karen sat there, hair perfect, face frozen, as her own board members and crew told the whole story. Jury took less than 5 hours, guilty on every count. Karen got 23 years. Her crew chief, Anthony, took 8 with parole for cooperating. The others got fines and bans from public office. That should have been the end, right? Not quite. The neighborhood fell apart. HOA dissolved their bank accounts, frozen lawsuits piling up. Families suing for false violations, others for lost dues. Turns out Karen had skimmed off everyone, paid for spa days, landscaping contracts with relatives, you name it. Some nights I sit on my porch, cane at my side, and think about all the ways this could have ended. Could have died in that hole. Could have lost everything to one woman's thirst for control. Instead, I got justice, messy, slow and ugly, but real. You know, I learned something through all this. People think the worst thing about power is when it's abused in broad daylight. But the truth, it's quieter than that. It's in the notes slipped under a gate, the phone calls at midnight, the neighbor who wants just 1 acre. And it's only when enough of us say no, loud, stubborn, unyielding, that it stops. The road out front is smooth now. County keeps it up. There's a little metal post at the spot where I went under. They offered a memorial. I said no, let the road speak for itself. As for the flare gun, still hangs above the fireplace. Polished, empty, mounted with a plate. This shot saved a life and buried a tyrant. People ask about it sometimes. I tell them bad woman, big hole, bigger mistake. So what do you think? Was justice served? Or is that just what we tell ourselves when the bad guy finally gets caught? Ever had your own battle with someone drunk on power? Tell me. I want to know where you draw the line and what you'd have done if you were in my boots that night, staring up at the stars with a flare gun in your hand.